My name's Schenk, chef owner of Destino restaurant and Pisco Latin Lounge. I did a little bit of everything. I kind of like oversee the kitchen, all the food, all the new items that we put on the menus and stuff, all the specials. Kind of run all the operations on a daily basis, and it's a lot of fun, a lot of work, a lot of fun.
Alright. What's your knowledge about the history of ceviche?
Pretty extensive as well. My mom's actually from Peru, so it's born and raised with Peruvian flavors, and ceviche being something I've kind of eaten my entire life and stuff. The cool thing about ceviche is the fact that it's really, I'd say within the past 5-10 years, it's really kind of taken on its own identity, and it's really just starting to evolve, and the level of creation that you get out there. You know, Peru is a really cool country in the sense that speaking the food, culinary world and stuff, there are so many different influences. The Spanish influenced the cuisine, as well as the Italians, Africans, Chinese, and the Japanese as well too. And with the Japanese influence kind of came the whole creation of ceviche down in Peru. And it's pretty impressive because you can really look and you can pretty much dissect all traditional Peruvian dishes, and from that point really tell like what level of influence from what country it kind of came from and what the derivative is as well. But it's pretty great. Now you can kind of go to the majority of restaurants in the city and everyone will have some type of ceviche or some type of crudo or some type of tirarito, which is another style of ceviche if you will. But it's pretty great. It's pretty great because it's definitely good for you and it's healthy. Yeah, totally.
What's the key to making good ceviche?
Freshness of your ingredients. I mean, there are typically 5 main ingredients to make good ceviche. Your fish, your acid, so citrus acid, that is lime juice, orange juice, grapefruit juice. I mean, really depending on what you really want to play around with and stuff. And depending on the type of fish that you use as well too. I mean, you have so many different, it's so versatile. You have so many different options of really things to play around with. And there your heat. So you're heating peppers, chilies. So in Peru, ají amarillo, ají limon, they are some traditional Peruvian hot peppers that they utilize in a lot of their ceviches. Your herb, cilantro is typically used.
Right.
You can use green onions. I mean, you can really play around with those melons and stuff. I've seen ceviches with oregano or with parsley and salt. And it's really just a combination of all those different key ingredients, and then really making some great little creativeness out of it as well. Here at the restaurant we have about 3-4 different types of ceviches that we serve continuously. We tend to have a Peruvian style ceviche, which is more traditional Peruvian flavors and ingredients. We do a Mexican style ceviche as well too, which really incorporates a lot of the more traditional flavors from Mexico, avocado, tomato, for example. Then we do ceviches from Salvador. We've done ceviches from kind of all over. Right now we have a ceviche mixto, which is roasted clams, a little bit of calamari as well too, with some sea bass. So yeah, we just kind of mix it up and play with it as well.
How have you chosen to make the ceviche at Destino unique?
Yeah, well, it's the funny thing is for the Peruvian style ceviche, it's my uncle's recipe. So before I opened up Destino 10 years ago, I was out in Peru. My uncle, my tío Lucho, he was just like, "Let me show you how to make ceviche." I'm like, okay. And so there were 2 experiences that we had. One was actually on a boat, like fishing, in the north part of Lima, and that was amazing because I was in the boat with the fisherman, just cutting open the fish, cleaning the fish out, making the ceviche right there, and eating it like as fresh as you can possibly get it. You know, the one secret that my uncle told me was just the fact of keeping it really simple. And then just focusing on those core ingredients and everything too, and letting the flavors really speak for themselves, as opposed to trying to gussy it up and make it this crazy fusion thing and stuff like that too. Just really focus on quality key ingredients and really traditional flavors as well. So I think that's probably the biggest secret that we have. It's just keep it simple.
What do you love about ceviche?
It's really good for you. It's really healthy, and it just tastes really amazing. It's one of those things that you can definitely eat. And I mean, typically, my experience with ceviche is eating it on a beach with a beer, and that's pretty much like whenever I think of ceviche, that's what I think of. It's pretty much a lunch time dish. It's not really dinner dish, and that's one thing that we've kind of incorporated up here, which has been really kind of funny.
Right.
Because typically you would never eat ceviche at night; you always eat it during the day. But hence, we kind of will take something, we'll do whatever we want to do with it, stuff like that. But it's just like I love fish, so and it's just eating food in its like most purest, rawest form. I think is the best way to eat anything, honestly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah. If you don't have any experience with ceviche, try it. It's pretty easy to do it over everything too. Just cut your fish really thin, and just marinate it in lime juice to start. To let marinate just a couple minutes or so, and then just get creative and play around with it, because there's so many different ways you can prepare it and present it, and combinations that you can actually add to it as well. And it's always a great party pleaser as well too. People tend to really dig and grub on ceviche all the time. So
Cool.
right on.